Hi everyone, it's Marissa with Bumblebee Apothecary. Welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I like to show how to make organic handcrafted skincare and baby products, and I also like to talk about natural lifestyle tips. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how I make my organic stick deodorant. So let's talk about deodorant for a little bit. Commercial deodorant is full of all kinds of questionable and dangerous ingredients. Let's kind of talk about some of those for a second. I have a list here of some of the common ingredients in commercial deodorants, and I'm just going to go through and talk about a few of them, and then you'll start to see why they're actually pretty dangerous and definitely not something that I know I would want to be putting on my skin every single day. So the first one is aluminum. Aluminum is actually a genotoxin. It's a very popular ingredient in commercial deodorants. It's also a hormone disruptor, and it can likely increase the risk of different cancers. Triclosan is another one that's commonly found. It can disrupt thyroid function and can alter hormones. Propylene glycol is recognized as a moderate hazard by the Environmental Working Group. So that's a big red flag right there. That some type of an organization like that would recognize it as a moderate hazard. Probably not something we want to be putting on our skin and absorbing every single day. Parabens are known to disrupt hormone function, and they're also linked to different types of cancers and reproductive toxicity. They're also immunotoxic, neurotoxic, and can cause skin irritation. So quite a few dangerous things there. There's also synthetic fragrances that are commonly found in commercial deodorants. Now, synthetic fragrances are a sneaky way for labels to hide all kinds of questionable ingredients, such as phthalates. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Those have been linked to diabetes, obesity, cancer, fertility problems, and developmental disorder, and they can also be neurotoxins. So as you can see, pretty big list of pretty scary ingredients. And let's remember that the skin is our largest organ. Anything that we put on our skin is absorbed directly into our bloodstream. So if you're wanting to cut down on your toxic load and help prevent health problems and different things like that, or even heal from health problems that you might already have, the things that you are putting on your skin every day are pretty important, and one of those that's at the top of the list for dangerous, questionable, unsafe ingredients, unfortunately, is commercial deodorant. And I know that on busy days when I'm like bare minimum, no makeup, you know, not doing a ton of stuff, deodorant always has to be there. So we are putting this on at least once a day, every single day of our lives. So it makes sense to stop and think about what we're putting on our skin. So we've talked about the dangerous aspects of the commercial deodorant. Is there an alternative? There is. So there are quite a few recipes out there for homemade deodorant. There's a cream version. Hey, do you think you could go get me that little jar that's over there? Lily's gonna grab that one. I forgot to bring it over here. Thanks. So here's the cream deodorant. It's good. It comes in a larger container if you don't mind applying it with your fingers. Or there are stick versions of homemade deodorant. So when you are coming up with a deodorant recipe, it is really hard to find one that works as a stick recipe. I tried so many recipes before I finally designed my own and came up with this one. I found out that the secret to this is the type of wax that you use. Many recipes that you see online for a homemade stick deodorant contain beeswax, and that does not work. What you need is candelilla wax, and the reason for that is candelilla wax is harder than beeswax, yet it melts with contact on your skin, and it gives you just the right consistency of that smooth glide without the deodorant coming off in big pasty chunks. And if you've ever tried to make your own stick deodorant at home and you had trouble with it, you know what I'm talking about. So I came up with this recipe. I'm really happy with it. let's not forget to mention it is very effective. Both the cream deodorant and the stick deodorant, they work super well. You can be working outside, sweating, you know, getting hot, and they really do prevent odor. Let's also talk about sweating. So your body is designed to sweat. That is one of the ways that you are cooled down and that you get rid of toxins. You definitely don't want to prevent your body from sweating. So this natural organic deodorant does not prevent your body from sweating. It just prevents odor. So, and it does a great job of that too. So there's the coconut oil, the organic extra virgin coconut oil in there that helps prevent odor. It has antimicrobial properties. There's also the essential oils that help control odor, and then it does give you some degree of drying as well. There's organic arrowroot powder in there that does help keep you dry somewhat, so it does kind of help with that. Definitely does not eliminate sweating, which is very important. So I'm really excited to share with you this recipe, how I make my organic stick deodorant. The cream recipe I will probably show in a different video at some point, but basically it's the same thing without the wax. So if you're curious about that right now. So let's get started. I'm gonna start off by melting all of my meltable things together first. So I have already melted coconut oil in my glass heat-safe bowl, and to that I'm adding my candelilla wax and my also already melted cocoa butter. I have the cocoa butter and coconut oil already melted just so that I can measure them easily, and now I'm adding my olive oil. So we're going to put that into a type of a double boiler situation again. I have a pan of water with a cloth inside, and I'm going to put my glass bowl into that pan. Here you can see it on the stove. And now as the water is heating up, you can see that it's all nice and melted. You want everything really nice and hot. You also want the glass pitcher actually to come to full temperature and be very, very hot. Now we're adding our dry things. We're adding our baking soda, and also we're going to add our arrowroot powder. Before we add the arrowroot powder, I'm just giving it a really good stir just in case there's any clumps of baking soda to break those up and get that really incorporated. Now the arrowroot powder, this is always kind of messy. Add that and then again stir, make sure that it's all nice and incorporated. We're wanting it to stay on the heat for a little while yet, just to make sure everything is really heated through after we added those other dry ingredients. Once I'm pretty happy with how well it's heated through, I'm going to take it off of the heat and add the essential oils. In this batch I'm doing lime and bergamot, and then I also add tea tree oil to all the batches that I do just because that has really great odor preventing properties. So I'm adding that, and then I'm going to use my immersion blender just to make sure that everything is really, really combined, and I don't want anything separating out while it's cooling, so this really helps to prevent that. So while the pitcher and everything is really hot, just really stir it up nicely. After that, I'm going to pour it into my containers. I'm just gonna pour it right in there, bringing it pretty much to the top. You want to kind of work quickly with this so that you can get it poured while everything is still really mixed and suspended and hot, because you'll notice that as you pour it out, if anything spills or little drips come, they harden immediately. So you really want to work with this while it's hot and move kind of quickly so that you get it into your container. So I'm just filling them all up here. And here you can see what it looks like when it's done. Okay, I hope you enjoyed seeing that process, and I hope you give it a try. And if you do, let me know how it turns out in the comments below. Also, if you have any other thoughts about deodorant or information to add, leave a comment. If you'd rather buy a pre-made version, then I'm going to link a link to my Etsy shop in the description below also, if you'd like to pick up some of that. And I'm also going to link all of the ingredients and equipment that I used in case you would like to try making it yourself, then you can know how to find exactly the right things to use. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, And if you're new, consider subscribing so that you can see more videos on how to make organic, handcrafted skincare and baby products, as well as healthy lifestyle tips. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye. This one.
That's an example of the kind that we don't want to use.